Welcome back to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. It is not Thursday.
It's Monday.
It is Monday, but we're doing another special episode.
We're going to the split screen.
We're going to the split
That's how that works.
We are doing a special I can't even talk.
Epilepsy? Is that what you said?
Episode,
Episode,
my friends.
You saw my face and you went, oh, shit.
See, like the funny thing is I can't see ya. I can't see ya. So
Big
that
head, Dave.
that is Big Box Dave.
That's right. Let's get over to Big Box Dave.
He is joining us from
Recording in progress.
There we go.
recording in Wait, who is that?
That was the Zoom meeting thing that I had
Trying
to
to
start.
take over my job?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Heather, trust me when I say this, you are irreplaceable.
Even when I do
that's
words and
nice.
can't talk.
Oh no, that was a total slam against her, Dave. That wasn't.
Oh, man.
I know.
See, I thought you were a nice guy, man. What's up with that? I
Here's the
got
thing.
you back, Heather.
When the shit show starts, she's the one that's always starting it, but it gets blamed on me. I don't understand how that works.
No, I'm
That's
innocent.
All right. I got to get you some boots for Christmas because the bullshit's
Thanks.
I actually got some on today.
Welcome to the show, Big Box
Yeah.
Dave. Part of MTG Attitude.
Yeah, part of that.
And if you guys not checked that out yet, as much as my loose lips have talked about this man,
You have talked about it. That's awesome, though.
I mean, look at that sexy bald head. How could you not say no to that? I mean, seriously, that's just delicious.
You're just talking about yourself now?
No, not me, Big Box. You
Oh,
look.
hold on. Oh, that's
My
right.
little
You're
tiny,
like
my little
a
tiny
right
Charlie
now.
Brown hairs up here.
Welcome, Dave. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
We're super glad to have you here. We did have
Super glad to be
Brian
here.
from Pipe Dream
Gaming.
Yes.
on.
Yeah, my man Coon. That's right.
Yeah, and you were commenting on there, and I was like, I think I know who that guy is.
Yes. Anytime I see Coon, I always comment on him. I'll tell you what, that guy is going to do very good. I met him on Moss's channel,
Nice.
just as patrons, and we just kind of connected and decided. He made a show on his own. I made a show on my own. We just kind of did it without talking to one another, and then we just said, "I'm like, hey, dude, here's my phone number," and we started talking with each other, and he's just a good guy.
Very
So,
good.
Yeah.
Such
super
a
good
cool dude.
That was a really fun. That was a fun episode. One of our first premieres, I would say, kind of one of our first premieres.
I think like the third or fourth successful one.
Okay, there we go. That's really what we were trying to get at. But so we were able to ask you to come and join us for a premiere. We usually do Thursday nights,
Yep.
but I'm really digging doing these ones. They're fun because we can talk about people all over.
Kind of a re-entry Monday thing, It's
Yeah.
get people nice and loose for the week,
Right.
Me, I'll be lubing myself up tonight.
Coconut oil. I hear it's great.
Getting
for
ready
you.
for Thursday.
There's tea in this.
Right.
Oh, wrong kind. Sorry. PG kids. PG.
There's no.
Oh, is it
tea on
PG?
this show.
Oh, I get.
That's a lie.
Oh, all
I
right.
just remember you can't say fuck, so there's that.
Oh.
I thought I'd done fucked up. All right. Good. Hooray!
So- Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say,
Go
Dave,
ahead.
go ahead. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and about yourself? I've got to watch a
Sure.
few of your videos on your channel, but I'd like to let you tell a little bit more about what it is that you do.
So yeah, MTG Attitude. It was kind of it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to make it short. So long and short of it, once a year we go to a lake. It's a lake called Lake Umbagog, and it's in Errol, New Hampshire. It's right near it's not far from the Canadian border. And this year we brought my good friend Guy's friend Jay, whose name is Whitey. And he had his drone. He was doing he did this awesome video of us on the island. He was only there for 4 days, and he's like, "Oh my God, I want to stay the entire week." And I'm like, "Hey, I kind of want to start opening packs on, kind of like Joey Moss style." I'm like, "I like how he does it, and I'm like, you think you could like edit that or something?" He goes, "Yeah, I might be able to do that." So me and Guy are like, "Yeah, let's start doing this." And we started rolling with some ideas, and we were drinking beers while we were doing it, and it just festered into something else that it wasn't supposed to be, and it made it even better. So every time we have an idea, it just rolls into another thing, and no one's voice is like heard more than the other. And it's just, we got a good collective group. I've incorporated a couple other friends. JJ's been in there. Rudy, that's our D&D, that's our DM. You know, he's pretty cool. And Wild Boy Gaming, a guy that I helped get up here from Ohio. He was in a bad way.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll have to check it out, man.
Cool.
Yeah, he's at like 30 subs. He's like, woo, you know, he's doing good. We got him into a sober home, and
heck yeah.
He's doing a lot better. You know, for Christmas, I think I did put out the video. He gave me his 30-day coin of being sober for Christmas. Man, I thought that was like one of the best gifts I've ever got.
That's amazing.
So I saw that video, man.
Yeah. So we try to do a lot of collab stuff too, but again, it starts off with one single idea and it just goes.
Yeah.
And we go with it. You know, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We obviously rip open packs. We do pack battles. We're not a big. Yeah, no, absolutely. I was talking. So the whole thing really started with Joey Moss. I told him, I'm like, I'm never going to do a show, but I want to show you what I got. And I collected for 7 years, and I literally have totes and totes of. I have every booster box going back to 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, and for every master set and every collector set, I have at least 2 of each.
Wow.
And it was done with every ounce of extra money. I detail cars. I haven't done it for a little bit.
Okay.
And I would make like $150 a car, put that towards it. Was all magic. So for almost better part of a decade.
Wow.
Long and short, I was showing Joe the collection. I took pictures of it. It was like in my closet. Like,
yeah.
And he just he sent back a picture that was like his eyes. He's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" I'm like, "I don't know, collect it. What should I do with it?" And he just said two words to me. He said, "Crack it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What?" I go, "Dude, that's so much stuff. You know, like how the hell am I gonna do this?" And then I talked to him like, "Well, should I do it for a channel?" And then that kind of carried over to the island and carried back to Joe, and he's like, absolutely. And
wow.
I started giving him names. I'm like, should I do veteran MTG? He goes, nope, that's one specific group. He goes, and I threw an MTG attitude. He's like, I like that.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
So there it was, and that kind of started it all. So I will get into some deck techs on. I do a lot of MTGA as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, see, we gotta hook up on there because I'm on MTG Arena all the time.
There you go.
I watched those the other day. I am sub to you and I have the bell. It does go off, and
awesome, brother. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. I love deck techs.
Speaking of that, a shout out to our buddy Brian. He actually, and another guy that we just connected up with, helped us get to 50 plus followers on Twitch. So
yeah,
there you go.
Shout out to Brian. If you're listening, brother, thank you. And thank you. What was Demon Designs?
There you go.
Yeah. So thank both of you guys.
Yeah. Awesome. You just recently celebrated a sub
500 subs
pump, right?
Yes. Yeah. When we got to 100 subs in a month. And
wow.
And I don't know. Again, listen, man, when it comes to any of this stuff, like I really don't follow the subs. It's Whitey and Guy. Like they're the masterminds behind all this stuff. I'm just blah 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 blah. Oh, I got product. That's it. I kind of do it that way. But when we hit 100, I said, hey, if we ever get to 500, I will do something very special. And I had a MH2 box set aside for it. I knew we would get to it. So
that box opening was incredible too. Holy cow.
I have to play catch up on these videos.
Yeah. We only got 2 fetchies, but I pulled some heat out of that. Solitude.
So good.
It was really good box. I was really happy with it. And what I haven't explained yet is the kid that won, Zachary. He said, hey, I talked to the other 2 that I went against. Do you mind giving them their bomb cards? And I was like,
what? Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he gave up 2 fetches and a solitude, and some. It was like $200 worth of value. He's like,
yeah,
wow.
I'd rather them have it. I go, okay. Not a problem. I meant to mention that, and I forgot to do it on today's video. God damn it.
Oh man. Well, hey, we'll have this dropped hopefully by Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So.
This always messes me up when we do premieres. I love doing this, but I'm also like, okay, where am I at right now? What should I mention that we have coming up, or or who's our guest, what they have to mention about what they've got going on.
Yeah.
So, but you were gonna say,
well, a quick shout out, what episode we're actually on in true 6'6" Samus style, who is an incredible drummer, by the way. If you get a chance, check him out, Big Box Dave. That dude's nuts.
What was that name again?
6'6" Samus. He's actually done some really cool collaborative stuff with Devin Townsend, man.
oh wow,
I'll check it out.
Oh, dude. And
check it out.
so the episode that we're on are 222. Shout out to Samus. Love you, brother. Keep being epic at what you do, man.
See, and now Dave talks about not knowing where the subscribers are and all that stuff is. That I don't even know what episode we're on until he tells me. So I feel you.
I don't even know what.
Sorry, you guys made me laugh. I was drinking water.
Oh, see, I couldn't see that. Drew, I would have been like, no, are you okay?
I'm good. I'll get some alcohol to wash it down.
Playing at home, it's not
buddy.
alcohol. Clear that out.
That's what's crazy about it. We keep talking about Joey Mosh.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys get the chance, and if you have not checked it out, because I talk a lot about all of this stuff.
You do, yeah.
Go check out Bad Boy Gaming. This dude is off the hook.
When you're okay, is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to or anything before we continue moving forward?
There is sorry. Oh my God, man.
You're all right.
Back trippers. Turn around.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. Shout outs would be MTG Obsession. I'm actually doing a live stream with them this Wednesday to raise money for a charity of our choosing.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. God damn it. So sorry about that. I feel so embarrassed right now.
Why are you trying to kill our guest, Heather?
I didn't I can't see.
She made me laugh. Go for now. You're good.
Regardless, I would have been like, how do I stop myself from being funny though? Like
this is awesome. I love it. Yeah, no, MTG Obsession. We're doing a live stream this Wednesday at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And it's all the proceeds go to charity. We're auctioning off packs. I got a book. I should have brought it over here. One of my subs gave it to me to auction off, and it had some fetchies in it. It had a good amount of stuff. And then my buddy added some stuff. It's like $500 worth of shit, and I'm gonna auction that off. That's awesome. A whole Matt Caster Mage up in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me a Christmas. He got me a Jumpstart box, and I said,
"Oh, nice."
I saw that, man. I saw that.
Yeah, I asked him. I said, "Hey, is it okay if I gift this for charity?" He goes, "Absolutely." He's like,
"Yeah,
that's cool."
So, and then I got my own box, and I'm doing. And Feldy's got a shitload of boxes. The MTG Game and Bob. A shout out to him. He's going to be donating some stuff, so it's going to be cool. It's just going to be a lively night. Anytime I'm up there. Mr. DJ Longhair. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. We do.
I haven't.
Mr. DJ Longhair. Guy drinks like a fish. Love him right away. Right on the show. So throws him right down. It's great.
Nice.
But there's a ton of us that get on there every Thursday on the round table, and we talk shop, talk magic, and then open packs. We get a little stupid sometimes. I get real stupid. It was just. I just add to that stupidity, but no, shout outs to him. And honestly, I really can't shout out Paz Brown, Joey Moss, or Matt Castler because they're way bigger than me, and most of their subs know me through them. But that's about. I think it's about all the shout outs. All
right. Well, if you think of any more
next time, just feel like Heather, I'm taking a drink, and I'll be like,
we gotta do this again. I gotta bust. Hold on a second.
Hi.
Un momento, por favor.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
You're good.
So we'll go ahead while we're waiting for him to come back. We are going to just kind of talk a little bit about Initiative Impossible really quick too, because that's going to be dropping for Christmas. We have a special Christmas episode coming. I'm really excited about that. Rude actually is going to be DMing that episode.
I cannot wait.
So I'm excited. You get to get back into that chair to run.
I'm the tech guy.
You're the tech guy tomorrow night. So
I'm the producer.
So we're gonna do that episode. And it's gonna be Christmas themed campaign.
Oh, see, there you go, brother. That's it.
Right.
Pouring a shot.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna not say anything. Not saying.
It has about 3 fingers.
That's
All
about
right,
3 fingers. Bottoms up, man. Salute.
Salute.
But yeah, so I'm just plugging that really quick. We do have Initiative Impossible coming up.
Yeah.
We do the tabletop D&D campaign. Normally you run it as the DM, and then we have 4 people that are running through the campaign, and I'm luckily one of them, which is a lot of fun. And it was funny though, because before we got started, we were talking with Dave about what he plays, what he rolls up for D&D, because you do a little bit of that too. So it's not just magic for you. You have the love for all the games.
I do. I D&D, chess, any even going to Risk and Axis and Allies. Like any kind of. I know I'm a dope, but I actually like strategy games. Really.
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
Anything that tests your brain. So and those types of games do that. They absolutely do. But
it's funny you say that, because every time somebody sees us playing Magic or something, or if we're at a local game store hanging out, they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "It's chess with cards."
Really though?
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing about Magic is just there's infinite combos. It's
so many.
There's so many. And I know like a lot of sets will repeat themselves, just give it a different name.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's the same rhythm. It's like And every once in a while they just throw something out like, I don't know, Time Spiral Remastered, and just totally shake it up. And it's like, whoa, where did this come from? What is this? And it's just, I don't know. I like that about the game. Does WotC money grab sometimes?
Oh, every day.
Sure.
Every day.
They're a business, and we're all suckers for doing it. And I'm gonna keep being a sucker. Sorry, I love the game.
Me too. And the funny thing is before this, we used to go to one of our local shops to just get like commons, because it was really cheap to do that.
Yeah.
Or we get like big boxes full of commons or a few or whatever. And now, since I think Forgotten Realms came out, now ever since then, it's like I've been buying more and more. So this last one, I really like how it plays. So I'm just like, I need some more Crimson cards.
You need more Crimson Vow.
Seriously, I just built a wolf deck, and I love how all of that is playing. I'm like, yeah.
I am addicted to Midnight Hunt. I like Midnight Hunt better than Crimson Vow.
All day. The art.
I don't know why. Everybody calls me stupid. I don't know why.
It's the art, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Night and day part of it too. Like I'm still trying to get used to that, because kind of sometimes I'm just like,
hey, tell Big Box Dave what you were doing with the whole night and day thing.
I don't remember. If it's something,
Wait, what happened? What
remember
I
if it's something dumb, don't tell it.
Tell it. You gotta tell now.
Okay. So do you remember the video that went around a couple of years ago? It was like the animals that were talking. And they were like having
a lovely game of day and night time.
And the one bird.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Yes.
Heather's doing this, and she's like, "Oh, it's daytime." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
It's that video that went around 2 years ago.
Right.
Long time ago. Yeah, right.
But yeah, to go back what you're talking about, sets that shook the game up. I mean, I've been playing since I think it was revised. Trying to remember, because 94, I think I started playing.
I started late 94, early 95. We started at exactly the same time, dude.
Yeah.
I was in college. I shit you not.
It was my last year of high school.
Okay.
94.
Yeah, 94.
Oh, I graduated in 99.
But I remember going
to young, Heather. What the hell?
I know, right? I have to sit next to this.
What?
You look better than I do. You always have.
You're talking to Heather, right?
Yes.
You should not be talking. Okay, good. You want to get that one straight. Like, whoa, listen, wait, what's in that drink? stop drinking it.
Right. He's got the goggles on. He's like, she's really pretty after I drink a few.
CBD just went from a 2 to like a 7. Yeah, Coyote
Like,
Ugly's happening.
Keep interviewing, y'all. Look better.
Oh gosh. So yeah, so
Keep drinking,
94.
bro. Keep drinking.
Yeah, but no, it was like 94 is when I got into it. And I remember one of the sets that just completely blew my head off was Urza's Legacy, I think it was. No, Urza's
Saga came out first. Yes.
Saga, yeah, it was Saga. And I just went, I literally opened up like probably 10 booster packs and just set them there and looked at the art.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even care about the abilities. It just blew me away. I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh, you should show him that.
Go ahead, Heather. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say you should show him the art that you got from
One of the fans of the channel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me. I love it. Actually, and the first thing that kind of drew me into it was I saw 2 people playing. One was playing he had blue and white in there. It was reverse damage and Mana Shore. I'm like, what is this? And they were like, I heard of it, but I never really got into it. But and these were like normal dudes. I'm like, I thought this was a dork game. And I was watching it, and like the next day I'm at the LGS spending like $300. Just
take my shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
So check this out. One of the fans of the channel actually did this. It's a hand painting of the Black Lotus.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it clear as day, man. That's beautiful. It's a Black Lotus, dude.
I was like, what the hell?
It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. It was so cool.
That is so cool. And that's always been the card, the chase card, of course, the card of all cards.
Yeah.
I am finally getting one. I traded up for it. So and a couple others. Like they're unlimited. They're not alpha or beta, but still, I don't care. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna get this,
And that's the thing is what got me into the card game was the art. Like I said, it first came out. I was like, what is this? What
is this? And then you started reading and like you kind of, I started off with 2 like people that actually played competitively. So it was an easy transition for me.
Yeah.
But then like I was so slow. Like I like when I wasn't with them, I'd read the cards, like what? Oh, okay.
Same.
And I read every card every night until I was falling asleep. It just drew me in. I'm like, oh my God, this is beautiful.
Between that and D&D, honestly, those are the 2 things that helped me read better. Because I was the closeted, I know what I can do. I couldn't comprehend things that I was reading because I was just incredibly slow.
The D&D stuff. I'm telling you what, like when we play Initiative Impossible, and because we're live and being recorded, luckily the partner to my right, Rude, shout out to him. He's like my calculator, my techie dude. He's like, you do this. I'm like, oh, thank God for you, man. Because it happens so quickly. I'm like, I just know that I want to do this, but what do I need to do this?
Right.
It's horrible.
Roll initiative.
Exactly.
Right. Right. So I get that with reading the cards and finally starting to I put decks together, and I have for a while.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, that's sneaky. I'm going to add this now.
And you know what? I think I hated it at first. I didn't, and then I'd say over the last 5 months, I'm like, don't say it. So I'm really liking Commander. I'm really starting to like Commander a lot. I'm like, because there's so many cards, it just would do so many things. And you have that one chance out of 100 of pulling it. Like if you do, it's like, all right, this is gonna make the game totally fun. And at the end of the day, that's what to me is what it's about. It's about having fun.
That's what I loved about that when I first got into Magic. And when Commander, I'm not a huge fan of Commander, but you do so many broken things in Commander.
That's why I'm starting to like it a little bit. There's things that wouldn't normally fly in Standard or Historic. You're just like, oh my God. I could do that. It's
right.
I have the mana to pull that off.
What is your go-to deck then? Like, what do you like color wise, or your favorite one that you usually are like, I know what one I'm pulling out tonight?
Without a doubt, is it? And it doesn't matter if it's group play,
Nice.
double headed or standard. It doesn't matter. I pull the as a deck, and when I do that, my friends just attack me.
Shut it down.
I usually end up dying, but I have a lot of instances. But all right, before I die, it's just that screwing with the game. But it's a nasty as a deck.
We're in the same boat because I'm the first target anytime we all sit down to throw cards, and I'm like, why? Why?
Yeah,
because you're a dick.
Yeah, and your three buddies looking at you going, you know why? Because we want to play.
But see, that's the thing is I'll intentionally build a deck just before we play to sit down and test it out. And it's not that, I mean, heck, half the time I'm like, okay, how many colors do I have of this? Or how many cards do I have of this color? How many cards do I have of this color? And go.
Yeah.
And they're like, you just know how to build a deck. I'm like, okay, so I've been doing it since 1994. Still the luck of the draw.
Exactly.
Still luck of the draw. 100%.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Dave.
No, please, Heather, please.
I was just gonna say my biggest problem is that I will either have not enough land or I will draw massive amounts and be like
flood. Yep. Flood out. I hate. I'm notorious for that too. That was the secondary thing that I think that drew me in. It was initially the art.
Yeah.
It is like I want to try this. Because you build that, you're like, I got this. And you go out there, you're like,
yes.
Oh my God, that deck sucks. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then you watch your buddies, you're like, okay, I need that card, and you try to figure it out in your head as you're going along. And at the end of the day, it just comes down to what you just said: dirty, nasty luck. What do you draw? How many times you mull? Use that mull. That mull is there for a reason. If you need it. So I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. And that's why it's exciting every time. It's different every time. It is.
And that's what was so funny to throw a call back to Mr. Moss there.
Yes.
I remember a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
My deck sucked.
My deck sucks.
My deck sucked. That was the first letter I ever wrote to him in the gift I bought him. It was in there. I just said that my deck sucks. It's still my favorite line that he ever did. Because we've all been there. Like know it's like you test it out. The deck sucks. It's just like, oh my God. And you hate yourself. You're like, I'm a terrible Magic player. Like, no, you're not. You just need to refine, dude.
Doesn't working out. It's not working out. If one of mine is. If one of mine is working out, it's like it's got sleeves on it. That's how it's arrived. That's the thing. And last night I played against Adam, and he goes, "That one deserves sleeves." I'm like, "All right,
all right, there you go." Yeah.
Oh, almost got you.
Well, that's the best part about that is when I started doing the MTG Arena thing, I threw it out to friends and fans of the channel. I'm like, "Do you guys actually want to do this stuff live? Do you want to play MTG Arena?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's do this."
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I can't tell you how many times I've had my ass handed to me by friends and fans of the channel. And it's like, this has been a few different times it's come up in chat. And they're like, aren't you worried about them seeing your cards? And I'm like, I don't care.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
So yeah, now that I know you play, man, we've definitely got to sync up because I would love to play you live on the live stream.
And I just love to talk shit while you guys are playing.
whenever I play, not with people, not so much in the LGS. In the LGS, I'm kind of refined and fall. I got my drum. When I'm playing with my friends, the beer's out and pizza's going. You suck, mama. I'm whipping your butt right now. I don't care. You still suck. Your mama's wrong. All this stuff. Like it's just shit talking from front to back.
We do that all the time.
You gotta shit talk. You have to.
It's part of, and that's one of the things that I loved about the local game store we used to have up here is obviously when there's kids in here, you're a bit more appropriate. But if it's us just doing a tournament on a weekend or something, we're throwing all kinds of smack to intimidate your opponent.
I love it. I
love
not
Magic if you're not.
Right.
I love that you crap talk too, Heather. That's part of the game. I don't care what anybody says. You gotta crap talk a little bit.
You know, the funny part about it is, Dave, is that he'll be like, other deck building skills are just awesome. And he like hypes me up, telling everybody. And then all of a sudden it's like, I can't get shit to get anything out. Like,
where's my synergy? why is it this
way to screw me, man.
She's got this one deck, and we all, like, any of y'all are listening live right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about if you played Heather in Cardboard. It's called her Nope deck.
I'll give you one guess what color it is.
All right. Well, okay. My favorite color, blue. Yeah. Go on.
Mhm.
Nope. Nobody's playing. Nope.
It's just like, and that's the thing is you go to shut it down, and like you'll get one or two things, but then she'll come right back with an answer. It's like, and I'm just gonna take all your graveyard, and I'm like, how? You're blue.
How?
It's you and my pretty.
I'll splash blue. Blue is so annoying. It really is. And Mr. Guy, our automations guy, we call it the stop deck, where nobody plays at all except for him. You know, he's got this, like, he's got Winter Orb, he's got Stasis, he's got all this bullshit in there. And then he calls it Seaborn Muse. So we're not playing except for him. Like, so like, oh, it's somebody else's turn. Okay, I untap everything. I cast everything. Okay, it's your turn. All right, I untap everything. Oh, by the way, I can flash all my creatures with this other. I'm like, oh my god. And the game drags out for hours. I'm like, all right, guy, listen, you're good. I'm not. We can be friends. Let's just stop this. You win. I can't do this deck right now. It's the most frustrating. And everybody has that deck. It's like, I want to punch you in the throat right now. Like, why are you playing that? Like, it's so frustrating.
I like to change it, like switch it up too, though. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna be annoying first, but now.
Love it. I love it.
She's exerting her dominance of going, oh, you're gonna sell me short because I'm a chick playing Magic.
As long as I can attempt to throw a card out, I'm good. But once the game stops, that's it. I can't do that. But you telling me no, I'm good with no. Nope.
Well, I do have to admit, like, I now have a green and red Nope deck.
Oh God!
Just saying.
You have a Gruul Nope deck?
Yeah, I do.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. I don't know, but I do.
I gotta see that deck in action.
That sounds so cool. Left, right, and center.
What's up?
She's just like, oh, you brought a little tutu out?
You haven't played it yet. I'll bring it over. We'll have to play. But yeah.
Okay. I gotta see that thing. I hope it works too. I want to see that thing fire up.
That was one of the things that we did for Initiative Impossible is we actually built decks and then we played live, throwing real cardboard.
It's miserable.
We've got to figure out a better way to do it because it got a little everybody was talking over each other. So
I think two-headed giant would probably be the best way to do that. Yeah. But yeah, it was a bit crazy. I was not getting anything. I was like, my deck sucks.
My deck sucks.
Right? That's how it felt. I was grumpy. I was just like,
my favorite game to play is Emperor. I don't know if I was introduced to it. You know what Emperor is?
Yeah.
I don't.
A lot of
people
played it with
my buddy Leon.
Yeah, it's basically 3 against 3, but you have an Emperor in the middle with 40 life, and the object is to kill the other Emperor. Spells and abilities can only travel over one person.
Yep. Oh wow!
Except the only difference is world effects. Like if it's Wrath of God, everybody dies. The Emperor can tap and pass creatures, or it's so cool. It's just it's a fun mix. So basically, you have to break down one of the flankers to get to the Emperor.
Wow.
So, and then once a flanker goes down, now the emperors can hit each other with spells or whatever.
Yep.
So it's pretty badass. And
I'm gonna do that.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, I have a donate deck that it takes some time. It's 4 colors. It takes some time to fire up.
Yeah.
But it's basically like, you know, did you ever hear of Illusions of Grandeur? It's a blue card. You would love this one.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Writing that down.
It's a 4-cast blue enchantment. Yeah, Illusions of Grandeur, and it's a picture of a dragon like in the sand. It's almost like it's kind of like camouflage, so to speak.
Love the art on that card.
Oh, it's gorgeous art, and it's expensive card. You know, I think I have a couple revised ones, And when it hits the ground, it says you gain 20 life, but it has a cume upkeep.
What?
So once the upkeep goes away,
Yeah.
you lose 20 life. So it's a game saver for you.
Yeah.
I cast that, and the next turn it comes around, I use the little kitty cat. I donate it to somebody who can't pay the upkeep on it, and they lose 20 life and they die. And my friends are like, "What the hell is this thing?" It was the jankiest ass deck, and then there's a card. I forget the name of the black card, but it gives you 4 things to do. The last one is you lose the game. So during my upkeeps, I used all the good ones.
Yeah.
I used the goat. I used a goat that gave me an extra upkeep.
Yeah.
And then I just pass it off to the emperor, and the last one they could choose was you lose the game. So,
oh man!
Do it for
it's the donate deck or the I win deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
That's fantastic. Oh
yeah.
You mentioned Wrath of God, and that's why I was kind of like giggling a little bit because I told my ex-husband when we were playing way back then, I was like, that means I win the game. And he was like, gosh, dang it.
I hate you.
I was like, I win the game. No wonder why he sold all my decks on me. He was
what an a-hole.
He did. All of my cards got sold. He sold everything.
What's his name again, Heather?
What's his name?
I'll take care of the right
Dick. Yeah. I was mad. So mad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't blame him. I actually kept the majority of my cards. I had a play set of every dual land. And
wow.
I did. I really from Revise, not anything sexy, nothing from Unlimited. I did sell all 4 volcanic islands, underground seas, and tundras, the most expensive ones. Because it did it in 2012. I needed a little extra money, and I'm like, holy crap, these things are $100 each. They're never gonna go up.
Yeah.
And I sold them off, and now they're like pushing 1,000 each. I'm like,
oh my god.
That's the thing is,
oh my god,
I cannot tell you how many times I bought and sold cards. And when you're a single dad raising kids, it's like, well, there goes that selection because got to pay bills. Kids got to
pay bills.
And it's just crazy because to throw back to the one video that you did, because I love that video, man, and thank you again for posting that. When you're like, hey, what's the greatest Christmas present you ever got?
Oh yeah. Oh, I love your answer.
And just like that was without hesitation, I'm trying to text on my phone because I was waiting for my daughter, and I'm like, bro, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And just like time and time again, I've gotten into Magic, I've gotten out of Magic, I've bought cards, I've sold cards, and it's just like it always brings me back. The art, the memories, the games with friends, just like going to tournaments at your local game store back when
I
was still in college.
I used to love going to tournaments. Loved it. It was so much fun.
The thing that I love about when Joey he gets the older cards, he's like, oh, it's still got the smell.
The smell. It smells like an old library or an old bookstore.
Yes.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And like a mix of old library and lunch pizza, like pizza.
Some of them had the pizza grease stains with kids sneaking shit. It's tears. There's that nostalgia.
Black Lotuses that I had because we played. We're kids. We're stupid. We didn't care. I had decks that had rubber bands around them, and just, that's nobody.
That's what you.
There was no money in it. It was a card game to play with your friends.
No. It's after the first year, I started sleeving them, and anything I got was it was packed fresh. I never never mess with them and kept them in good shape because I was like, oh, these things have some value. Maybe down the line, maybe they'll be a little valuable. I don't know.
That's what I did with Saga when I got to it. I just took them out of the packs. I'm like, these are amazing. I have to put them in sleeves.
So here's a funny story for you. So I got out of it. I joined the Army in 2000, March of 2000 with a boot camp in July of 2000.
Okay.
So I got out right at Urza Saga, and I was like, $3 a pack. That's outrageous.
Yeah.
I'll buy 15 of them. And that's all I ever bought was those 3 packs and those 15 packs rather. And like I did a lot of moving and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
moved to this house in 2014.
Yeah.
And I was unpacking stuff into the attic. And I found a 2-sleeve box. I'm like, it's in here. I totally forgot all about it. I'm like, oh yeah, those are my, the Urza Saga cards. I'm going through it. And then there was the Gaia's Cradle.
Oh,
And
wow.
And I had it sleeved. I always loved lands. I also had Young Jedi. It was a Star Wars game that I never took off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, and I looked it up. I'm like, it was $200. I'm like, wow, that's a good price.
Yeah.
So I got it graded. It's the only card I've ever gotten graded, and that is the one that I gave to Moss last year.
Yes, I remember that.
Because of this, for Christmas, because of the story. Wow. Yeah, he sold all his cards for $175. Play sets of Cradle and you name. He had like over $100,000 of cards.
Yeah,
and
easy.
I'm like, oh, I lost $1,200. Holy crap! And like he's naming all the stuff he had. I go, oh man, I got to give him this card. So I did. I gave him my Cradle.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think twice about it.
It's stuff like that just like, how could you not want to be just hanging out with Big Box Dave? Because you're the legit dude. This is not an act. This is just you, man.
Yeah,
and it's so cool.
You know what, man? And as I go through it more and more, that's also part of the game. Like when I play with my friends, like I don't ask them for any money. I'll provide a box, and they always pay me, but it's part of it. It's like giving that, I don't want people going, oh man, I'm gonna live vicariously through you. Like, no, here's some shit, dude. I don't fucking care. I don't. You can't. At the end of the day, man, you can't take this shit with you.
No, you can't.
So true.
Yeah, and that was the hater that came out like, and I love that. I'm like, oh, I got a hater. Yeah. All right, let's see what he wrote. I'm like, good comment, man. I'm like, you're right. Our content needs to be better. And he's like, well, 98% of the people that you got is because you bought them with packs. I'm like,
wow.
Well, you're right. I spend about $10 a week, $15 a week on giving a pack out or a couple, 3 packs.
Yeah.
But you're right. We'll get and I was like, so nice. And like, I'm taking it as constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And then all the other subs are like, you piece of shit. He goes, what this guy does? And they were attacking him. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I got this,
Yeah.
And then I settled it with them. And eventually, all right, this guy's just getting belligerent.
Yeah.
I cut it. So
some people just don't know, like they don't know how to accept that there are good people out in the world that will do stuff like that just to give things out, and they're just like, this isn't real. And it's like, okay, who hurt you?
Right.
Yeah.
Who hurt you? Like,
Yeah. Wow. And I've actually developed some relationships with my subs. I mean, I talk to 4 or 5 of them now, like almost regularly on the phone, and they're cool. It's like I there's no creeper thing involved.
Yeah.
I actually spooked Joey a little bit. With
Tell about that story. That was great, man.
Yeah, so I did like a night before Christmas theme, and it was just 3 gifts. It was a knife, it was the double masters box for him to battle against the subs in the Gaia's Cradle. And he's going through it, he's like, this doesn't seem right, and he's like, he's sketchy. He's like, I'm supposed to take a life with something. Like, I'm like, and we ended up talking, we ended up talking. We weren't on the phone with each other at this point. It was just DM. And he's like, how do we handle this? I'm like, dude, listen, just be transparent.
Yeah.
And I wrote something out. I go, this is what happened. And I was apologizing so much. I'm like, Joe, my execution sucked. I swear there's nothing. This is very PG. There's nothing bad with this.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm like, no, don't be sorry. It's okay. I fucked it up, And so, and we kind of made it up, and we showed everybody, like, he's like, do I just show it? I'm like, yeah, show it. Just show it on the screen. And so we figured it out, and everything was fine after that. He got a little bit of hate for that. He did.
Really?
From some people. Yeah, a little bit in the comments. And I'm like, hey guys, listen, this is Dave. I wasn't, I think I was started being Big Box Dave even at that time.
Yeah.
Because So the way I got that name, Joe has a shitload of Daves on his like for patrons and subs. It's
Right.
crazy. There's tons of Daves on there. And the first gift I ever sent him was the shirt, the axe, and just 12 packs. It was, but I had to use for the axe. It was all oiled up and greased up and shit. And I had this beautiful white Browns jersey in there, and I go, oh no, I got to separate them. So, but to fit the axe in there, I had to get like one of those huge, large boxes from Walmart.
Yeah.
And the thing was light as shit, but it was so just
big and bulky.
Yeah, it was bulky, and Joe got it. And he's like, "What is in here?" He actually DM'd me. I go, "There's only 3 things in there." He's like, "What?" He's like, "How the hell am I going to show this?" So he had the video of him going. It just says large on the bottom, and it's like, and it was so cool. Like he pulled the best bomb cards. I was like, I was like,
that was a great video, man.
It really was. It was the $500 mystery box blew my mind. That's the title.
Wow.
And it was such a good video. And so somebody said, well, there's no, we're talking about the big box, Dave. Not and like it just kind of stopped. I was like, yeah, BBD, sure, yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
So now whenever I send somebody something, it's a big box, and I'll put a question mark on it. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You first, I didn't want to stop you when you were telling the story about you said something about being in the service. So we just want to thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for your service, Dave.
For sharing all
you guys are fucking worth it. That's all I'm going to say about that. So
thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you. So I did catch one of the episodes with you sending a box, and it's got a question mark on it. Is that usually how you send out boxes now?
It's that's it kind of goes with the Mystery Monday theme that we do, because we always do some kind of story every Monday. We're a bunch of goons and hacks. There's like we really like it is so funny because every time we do it, we don't take it seriously, which makes it funnier. Like when we watch it, we're like, we're just like we're laughing at ourselves. Like I'm like, Editor Jay, I'm like, dude, you can't fucking act, man. What's wrong with you? He's like, I don't know how to act, man. I'm like, well, just talk, dude. Just like don't look at the camera. Like, yeah, I mean, we gotta, do something about it. I'm like, dude, just be yourself. He is so funny and charismatic when I talk to him. Like he has me in stitches all the time. I'm like, why can't you do this when we're recording? He's like, because the camera's on. I'm like, you're an idiot, dude. What's wrong with you? And then
when you guys did the who you selected for the 500 sub opening, that shit was hilarious.
Jay, he couldn't get it out of him. Like, and I looked at it and I go, what are you doing, bro? And then hey, I'm Big Box Dave. I'm tired of shit right now. Hey, I chose this person because he only got socks and underwear. Oh, peace. Let's do this.
Right.
And there's guy. Yeah, I chose. I'm like, bros, just be yourselves. Just be yourself. They're so funny. They're so funny. Guy is the most demeaning person. He doesn't seem. He's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
But the stuff that he just rapid fire comes right out of his mouth. I'm like, why can't you be like this, dude? and he's like, I don't know. I just freeze up. Like, no, just let it go, man. It's oh man. But they're great.
It's so funny you say that because we both have had that issue when we started this podcast 4 years ago. Because Heather didn't want to be on camera.
I did not.
And she's like, no, that's not happening. Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Look at this. Look at this beautiful woman right here.
Oh,
I know, right?
Let's go back. So 4 years ago.
Yes.
Let's go back 4 years ago, though. So before that, I'm going to be honest with you, it was a body thing because I was 350 pounds at one point. And so that was why I was just like, no, I don't want to be. Yeah. So that was the whole reasoning why. But then I was just like, all right, I shed that. I'm a butterfly now. Let's do this. So that's really, I mean, not like.
That's awesome.
I finally was like, oh, I feel me. I feel
feel
myself.
you.
And now I'm
Yep.
just like, all right, let's do this. All right, camera.
Hell yeah.
But we got
Hell yeah.
cameras before I did go in and have surgery. So before I did that, though, we did get the cameras, I think.
It was episode 99, I think.
Yeah. So I definitely before that. So you guys can go back and you can see way back then and then
write that down.
see now. Yeah. So
That's awesome, Heather. Seriously. That's so cool. I'm glad to hear that story. That's
And then sit next to this monkey. And here's the thing. So I want to put this into perspective because I've been on the stage and I've continually made an ass of myself. I mean, I've been a musician for 30 plus years. You know, when you have a rock and roll band, it's kind of a license to not give a fuck about anything and just go have fun.
That's it. That's it.
like, here's my ID card. I can have fun and start shit.
Oh, so what's that over there? Oh, booze and coke. We're the strippers. It's I
doing coke out this bitch's asshole.
I don't have that card.
So it was quite the opposite when somebody shoved a microphone in front of my face. And I'm like, we're doing a podcast. Because first I was like, this is the idiot that I was. What's a podcast?
I've been telling
I didn't know either, man. I while you're talking about that, I still don't even have social media. I don't.
And that's what's funny about it is they're like, well, you talk about stuff that's interesting. And I'm like, who the fuck is going to take me seriously? Let alone me have anything interesting to say.
Yep, you'll be surprised.
222 episodes later.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's not me just doing it. You're here too.
You're doing something right, man. Dude, I could do this all day with you, all day and all night.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I'm telling you, like before we started, I was like, come to the Strange Friends Media family. Dave, you're welcome. Come on. We don't care that you're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you guys are typing in the chat right now, Heather wants Dave to be replacing me, and we're going to find a third male so I can just do all the push button stuff.
Heather, listen, you want him. Trust me. I would drive you nuts. You would be like, look, you would have a seriously like a real life Lucille right beside you, and you'd be smashing me in the neck with that thing because I would drive you insane.
Oh god!
I am like this all the time, everywhere. Like this energy level, it's not made up. This is just how I am.
And that way.
What am I gonna do? This guy?
He does that all the time.
She's trying to point to me, but her direction sense is messed up.
Oh, you talking about the energy level?
I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Well, that guy. Don't worry, you don't need to see that. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Nah.
Heather, I'm telling you, 5 minutes with me, number 2 pencil.
Right in the jugular.
Just, you absolutely
like
destroy me.
Snapping the lead off.
You're gonna die one way or the other, either from blood loss or lead poisoning.
He just won't die. What the hell?
It's gotta be calculated, my friends.
5 minutes later, and he's still talking. Shut the fuck up. Oh.
But I think across the board, though, I think you'd be like, what is going on with this chick over here? Woo, all right. Good.
And you never know what's going to hit with her because some things she knows really well. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she'll lean off to the side and be like, what the hell are they talking about?
No, that's not true. You make up stuff. Like, I know all. Not really. I don't. Well, there's one whole episode that we had where it was like, I don't know what this word is. Here's the disclaimer, though. I did know. I did know, but people were like,
oh, it's so cool.
You want the surprise rune? It was taint.
I don't even know how it happened. And then all of a sudden I was like, what is a taint? I don't know what that is.
Well, see, in a little bit of backstory as we were doing.
wait, I have to do some. Heather, you know what it is now?
She totally does.
Okay. I'm just checking. I'm not going to show you.
I was like,
yeah.
But a little bit of backstory. So we're doing pre-production for Initiative Impossible, and we're changing lyrics to songs and all these other things. And Heather's like, well, yeah, I want a tank flamethrower.
Yeah.
And of course, so all of us are talking.
No, it was a tank drum, like
a tank drum. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those ones that makes like the weird harmonic noises when you hit it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you had a bunch of other guys in the studio were tank drum.
Like, no, it was you. You're like, you're not getting a tank drum for Christmas. It's not what I asked for. And I'm thanking God that you're not Santa because
hey, I know where all the naughty girls live. Just saying.
I was gonna put it out. I'm gonna put myself out there, and Tony, I'm definitely gonna put you out there. Listen, guys, we are dumb creatures. We are so simple and dumb. Oh my God. I don't know how else to say that. You can have the smartest guy in the world. Dumb.
You're not wrong, Dave.
We're gonna laugh at dick and fart jokes until the day we die.
Me too.
It's a true story. That's cool. You can laugh at him too. Right? Yeah. But
Well, I mean, I've hung around this guy for 7 years, so
sorry.
I'm trying to replace him, but he just won't go away.
She said I could wear my crash helmet in public so she'd be seen with me.
Oh,
special boy.
He's like, you can't kick me out of here. This is my studio. I just did. Changed the locks 2 hours ago.
So I'm banging on the door. Heather, can I come in, please?
You're like a dog just scratching. Hold out here.
Did you pee in the corner? Because no, you can't. All right, so
Why am I locked up this time? You forgot to change the toilet paper roll. What's wrong with you?
flip it around.
You took off the microphone windscreen. I know, but it's sexy.
Where do socks go? Not all over the house.
On the door handle, right?
Oh my goodness.
Are you sure you?
So
are you
awesome.
Sure? I was gonna ask. Are you sure you want people to know that you've been on this podcast?
Hell yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do. This is the best fun I've had in a while.
What time are we at, actually? Oh, we're cool.
Don't worry, guys. I can go all night.
Yeah.
I don't have to work in the morning. Yes, I do. That's a lie. Oh gosh.
No, the only point where my wife will.
Yep. She'll be like,
motherfucker.
That's it, yeah.
Time to put the toilet paper roll on. That's what's...
In both bathrooms. In both, yeah. I got an unlimited supply that I just put in there, just cutting out. What are you doing? I'm making sure that you're good to go, baby.
So I have to ask, Dave, behind you, I noticed that you've got Rocky and the Gladiator.
Yes. Yeah.
That is awesome, brother.
Yeah, when I was at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, I bought these posters.
Nice.
And I sent them home to my best friend and his wife. And his wife was into framing. And she's like, I can frame those for you. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So she framed them for a Christmas gift.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've kept them through. I've had them since 2001.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went to go visit my cousin out there in like 96, I think it was. He was a Airborne Ranger at Fort Bragg.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was airborne infantry. I used to jump out of planes, do stupid things, and
nice.
it's probably how I broke my back. It's like these years of abuse.
Do you care to talk about that story about how does one do that without jumping out of a plane? Like,
how do you jump from a plane? It's easy.
No. How does one break their back and not jump out?
I don't know. I do. I would love to say that, like, I have a high threshold of pain. Like, no, I'm just too stupid to quit. I really think that's what it comes down to. But when you're conditioned for 20 some odd years to go, hey, suck it up. Mm-hmm. Like, oh man, I'm in pain. I'm running with a broken back, and then it got to the point where I could barely walk. I don't know how I did it, and the surgeon's like, bullshit. He's like, how you did. I'm like, I don't know when it happened. I go, it just could be I've been on multiple deployments. I jumped out of planes. I went to Ranger School. I did all this crazy stuff, and it just caught up to me. I went from running 25 to 30 miles a week to barely being able to walk.
Wow.
And yeah, when it came down to it, it had been broken. As we talked, it was for 9 months, and the surgeon was. I think I was talking. I call him Dr. 90210. He's beautiful frosted tips, his beautiful tan. He's Harvard grad. He's a beautiful man. I don't know how else to say it. And I'm like, oh my God, I could stare at you all day, bro. And I'm as hetero as they come. And I'm like, you're just a gorgeous dude,
Right, right.
And he's like, yeah, it's been broken for like 9 months. I need you to wrap yourself in bubble wrap and not do anything. I'm like, why? He's like, because you could be paralyzed. I go, oh, okay. Well, how long has it been broken? He goes, it's like I just said, 9 months. I'm like, all right. And it's not registering with me.
Right.
Like,
Wow.
I'm like, all right. I'm still going on walks and doing like mowing the lawn. I'm like, give me a pain pill. Like I'm just like, he's like, what are you doing? Stop moving.
Well,
so go ahead.
Well, that's where you and Heather have a lot in common because Heather and I have been friends for 7 years, and she got a diagnosis, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. I got stuff to do."
Yeah.
And I just went, "What?
What? Yeah."
Actors like,
Heather,
I'll
I
have
get
to
it.
come in. I'm like, I'll be there, but I'm not. That's not it. Like, I don't accept it. Right?
What?
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing that, Heather, with Dave?
I don't want to cut off his. Like he's
Go
telling us.
ahead and finish your story, and then we'll talk about that, Dave.
I want to know.
Me finish the story?
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah,
I want to know. Like,
you finish your
okay,
story.
so long and short, on July 20th of this year, I had so basically one of my vertebrae was broken off. It was a pinky width off. It was like my back was broken, and that vertebra couldn't hold itself, and it smashed into the one beneath it. And what they did, it destroyed everything in between there to include the disc. So what they did is they went through my stomach, pushed all my entrails off to the side. They said they can get a better lift, so to speak, but they lifted it up manually, just pulled the disc out, put a spacer, like a plastic spacer there, and then they put 4 screws in and just separate it, sew me back up. They did have to have 2 surgeons there because it was near my femoral arteries. So it's like OSHA standards of the hospital. Like we have to have 2 surgeons there. And all
Wow.
So yeah, so in case like he nicked my femoral artery, they had one there to immediately stem the bleed and then continue the surgery. So I did. So I will tell one funny story about this. I have never done drugs. Like I've been in the military. Even in college, I did 4 years of college, never smoked pot, nothing. And so when I'm introduced to any type of drug, it's like, whoa. Oh man, like it just kind of spooks me out a little bit.
yeah.
So I remember the anesthesiologist coming over to me, and the phlebotomist is putting in a line as he's talking to me what he's going to do, and he put in this sedative that it was like anti-anxiety and just it's going to make you feel good. I'm like, oh, all right, and I'm listening. I'm like, I'm all into it. And then my wife said something. She was to my left, and I went, and everything went. I go. Whoa! And my wife repeat I don't remember and everything started going a little blurry. I go, and I look back to I go, what was in the air? And my voice is like, I go, what the fuck is going on? and then the anxiety stuff hit. I go, I feel so good, and I just remember saying that, and then I went from a laughing fit to a crying fit. I don't remember any of it. I woke up and I just had staples in my stomach and I couldn't feel shit. And it's so, which was when you wake up out of that, I'm like I'm one of those ones that goes boom, and I'm up from anesthesia.
Yeah.
I'm one of those weird, and you're like, you get that.
Yeah.
So, but the first thing I did, I go, because I saw my stuff, like my Johnny's up, like, oh my God, I wiggle my feet. I'm like, okay, good, I'm not paralyzed. I'm go through every check in my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? So my wife is there. She says, listen, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. They're gonna give you some drugs. I'm like, all right. And I checked my phone, and no shit, there was a voice text with Joey Moss and his buddy Adamo. And I wish I brought my phone here. I would have played it. And I started laughing, and I went, and like it's like the pain medication went away, and I'm like, I'm hitting the nurse button. I'm like, yeah. I go, I hurt. I was just a little baby, She's like, all right, and she went, and she threw something in me. I go, what's that? She goes, oh, it's Demerol. I go, I didn't give birth. I just had my back replaced. Why are you giving me Demerol? She's like, how do you even know what that is? I'm like, I have no idea. And they sent in a different nurse every day because the stuff that was coming out of my mouth from the drug-induced coma I was in was hysterical. I don't remember any of it. Like, it's oh my god, it was a trip. All I remember was the nurses laughing at me. That's all I remember. So I'm just an idiot. There's no other way to sugarcoat that.
Me too, my friend. Me too.
Yeah.
Surgery's got me like that off.
Yeah, but you turn into Hulk. You're like, I'm smashing.
No. That's not what happens.
All right, so get into this story and tell Dave what you do.
So when I first met Tony, like we had only been talking for a little while, and at that point in time, I think maybe a week into it, not to get like all sappy or anything, but my mom was diagnosed with cancer with pancreatic. And then a week later, I was diagnosed with uterine. And for me, I was like taking care of her. And I'm like, I can't do this right now. Like, I need to be here for her. She didn't have much time. So I'm like, I need to be here. I need to be with her. I need to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So when he called me, I was just like, that's not going to do. He's like, but I need you to come in here. I was like, I'm still coming in, but I don't accept what you're telling me. But you understand what I get it, but it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
So, and it did. And like, I ended up getting surgery and I ended up being okay from it. I have been for the past 7 years, which is, I'm so thankful for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I went in for the first one. You weren't there with me for that part of it.
No.
Oh, this was the weight loss surgery part.
That was the weight loss surgery that you did. Yeah.
Did you have the band? Or?
I did. I had the bariatric.
Bariatric.
Where Rowan White, where they cut like make your stomach like a.
My buddy, my best friend had that. Yeah. Yep. I know what it is. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
So I went in I went in for that.
Yeah.
Was this the one that you wanted me to talk about? Well,
what's the whole part? I want to hear that.
So they have to do a scope and they do all kinds of different stuff to make sure that you're going to be okay to be able to handle the surgery. And this little nurse is like pushing me back from my procedure to get that done. They put you in twilight phase apparently. And she's pushing me into the room and she's like, well, I can tell you one thing. You are strong. Wait, what the hell just happened? And my friend was sitting in there. She took me to it and she's sitting there and she said, the look on my face, I was just like, what did I do?
Oh my God.
She pushes me in there and then I'm just like, I don't even know what just happened. So the doctor came in and I said, all right, doc, first rule about Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club. And he just like died. Yeah. So that happened. And then when I went in and had the surgery, Tony had showed up.
Oh, so I'm walking into the hospital to go visit her, right? Flowers, chocolates, the whole thing. And because I wanted to
give those to the hot nurse.
I ate the flowers and held the chocolate. But
oh, that's nice, man.
I'm walking into the hospital and there's a code green, right? And here's the funny part about a code green in a hospital is combative patient, right?
I know what it is.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I'm like, well, looks like Heather's hulking out again because she's throwing elbows at the anesthesiologist.
I wasn't though.
And it wasn't her, but we had to laugh about that.
It wasn't, but he came in. Well, I remember from when I went in and had my surgery with the cancer thing, all that stuff going on, that the big thing was to get up and walk and, get out of there, do all that stuff. So after I got done with that surgery, she's like, at some point today, we're going to have you get up and go for a walk and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. And I just like sat up really quick and I was like putting my leg over and I was like, oh, bad idea. Oh.
And then it hits. Yeah.
I passed right back out. Here's another thing too, though. I'm only 5'1.5", so it was kind of funny to watch my little tiny leg just. I'm gonna do this. First, put down the bed for me, please. Yeah, so I get it. Like I'm just like,
Heather, I
this is
come
my hall
from the land of
pass
little
to do
people
stupid
too.
stuff.
I'm only 5'6". I
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
I'm a teeny little dude. Yeah.
That's what's funny is working with Heather for these past 7 years. It's like anybody that's walked in and done anything and partnered up with us, I'm like, go ahead, tell Heather no. I'll sit and wait and watch. Go ahead.
Before somebody does that, can I feed her massive amounts of alcohol?
Yes.
Oh, don't do that to me now. You know, if you have a friend that's got bariatric surgery, you know, it's like,
no.
I'm gonna sniff the cap and we're gonna get drunk, my friends.
Funny story. We have a second HQ, and if you tune into This Is My Brain podcast, you'll see all of that. But we're down there and we're celebrating.
Why are we telling all my stories?
Because you are amazing when you are lit.
Thank you.
What did she drink? Liquid Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going running.
That's not even what I'm really funny, actually. Well, so I've been told.
Go ahead and tell the story at the man cave with the cheese, the sticks and the cheese.
At the man cave, he built this really awesome bar, and I'm like, I want to bartend. That's what I want to do. So I mixed up this like chocolate martini. And I was like, well, I'm gonna try it. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So I'm continuing to drink this, you know, and this is the first time I've had alcohol since my bariatric surgery, and I'm just like, goes down pretty
Your
good.
stomach's like this big now.
Yeah, right. So I'm just like, a full cup of what could happen?
Forget about that instant blood alcohol thing. Yeah.
I did it though. Here's the weird thing. The weird thing is, it was like 2 hours later, and then it hit me. Like,
really?
How did this work?
Yeah.
And tell me about this shit. So all this, like people were bringing, like they bring dishes to pass, whatever. So there's always meat and cheese tray and little cubes of cheese, and I had this little stir from the bar, and I'm like, just put these on here and see what happens. Then I start going all wobbly. So my dumb ass is behind the bar going, shaking my cheese at people, and everybody's just like dying, laughing at me being retarded.
Right.
Sorry, no. Sorry. Digging a hole. Take that out, please.
No, you're not offending me, none. Believe me.
Yeah, but you know, I'm just like.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, being on the receiving end of this epic visual, we had just did like 3 sets live on stage, drank a ton of alcohol, sweated it out, drank more alcohol, sweated it out, and then we're watching her going, it's like, what are you doing?
But you guys were laughing so hard, I couldn't stop. I'm just like, well, this is funny to them, so.
We literally laughed.
Woo, piece of cheese.
This is like, this is so stupid. So they go outside, and I'm just like, out the door. So every time they're like, you gotta have cheese cubes there, and you gotta have these stirs that are flimsy because Heather's just gonna drink a whole thing again.
Heather,
be dumb.
Dick and fart jokes. I told you, guys are stupid. We'll laugh at it. Oh my god, it looks like a piece of, looks like a dick. You know.
They're just like, you should try stand up. I'm like, got any cheese? I don't know. So yeah, just the dumb stuff that happens. But I'm all right. Like I'm with you guys on that level. Like, anytime someone rips one, I've got like one to fire off. I'm like, did that come out your butt? Because
damn,
just like don't even matter. I'm on it.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So that's that. So I get like the whole hall pass for when you're on meds.
Right.
I say stupid stuff all the time without them. So
dumb. It's the weirdest feelings too. Time just goes by so weirdly there. It's like I feel like I was shrinking there too. I'm like, get me out of this place. I need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to walk around the island. I'm like, all right. I grabbed the thing and walked around the island. I made it, do that again. I did it again. Like, okay, if you do it one more time, you get to go home. Like, okay. Now I got to go up the stairs. I'm like, what are you talking about? You just told me 3 times.
They lie. They
They
lie.
lie out of their asses. Like,
They
we're gonna
lie.
keep you-
I
Yeah.
called him my first surgery. I'm like, so I can't come home. He's like, why not? I was like, my fart box is broken.
Yeah, you had to do the same thing?
Yeah.
You
So I'm
had a
like,
fart or
Black
shit.
market. Give me peppermints from your purse. I don't care if it's got fur on it.
Yeah.
You get out of
It's,
here.
oh my God. They wouldn't let me
Yeah.
go until I farted. It's the weirdest.
It is. I'm like,
It's so funny.
the one walked in. I was like, maybe I'm asleep.
Yeah.
They're like, that doesn't count. I'm like,
It
but
doesn't
if it
count,
did, I
yeah.
want to go home.
And just to spin it, everybody up here, anytime your digestive system or entrails are touched or bothered, you have, when everything's done, you have to pass gas or take a shit
Yep.
before they let you go. And it's like days before you do it. So you're like,
I mean, I'm like, this is happening.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna, you're waiting for it to happen. It's like almost painful.
Yeah,
for
and
that
they lie.
They lie.
They do.
They
They're like, you can do
100%.
this. You can go home.
Yeah.
You're lying to me.
Get up those stairs. Went right up. Like, all right, you can't go home yet. I'm like, what do you mean I can't go home? You just
Did
said
you not just see me do that? It was amazing.
oh God.
Oh, yeah.
It was like Michael Johnson speed. Let me go home.
Exactly.
Oh.
I feel
So
you.
I do have. I don't mean to cut it short, but I
No, you're
wanted
good.
to- if I could tell one military story.
Yes, please.
So when you're, I actually told it on DJ Longhair. When you're in combat, like I always try to reflect back on the good times, not the not so good times.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was kind of a not so good time. Long and short of it, we were running and gunning for 4 days straight, and we were literally living off of Red Bull and anger. And our guy that we were protecting was the UN ambassador to Iraq. I couldn't believe they actually gave me this. And
Wow.
Me and another guy were in charge of protecting this dude. And so we were going all over Baghdad for 72 hours straight. And we got little to no sleep. And we got back, and then the Secretary of the Army, Gates, came in, and we're the only ones there. And we got back to the base, like, hey, Secretary Gates. I'm like, good for Secretary Gates. Who cares? Like he needs an escort. I'm like, fuck. So they go, like, we promise it'll be really quick. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's quick, sir? It's like, 8 hours, maybe 10. All right, cool. So a day and a half later, we get back to the base because he was with us for a day and a half. He loved hanging with us. I'm like, sir, we're fucking tired. I was getting tired, and I'm like, woo, you couldn't shut me off. And if I was getting tired, I knew my drivers were, I knew my gunners were, and I knew my team leaders were. So we got back, and so during this time, this is Iraq. So during this in 06 through, it was late 06, it was close to Christmas, we were getting rocketed and mortared every fucking day from 3, 4, 5 times a day. And
wow.
so we liked being on missions. We liked being away from there. We didn't want to, we were away from the, you can't do anything about that stuff. It's just explosives falling on you, basically. And I'm like, this sucks. So on my first deployment, I didn't get a shower for 4.5 months. So I didn't care about phones, internets, food, even sleep. I wanted my fucking shower. That was the only thing I was, everything else will catch itself up,
Yeah.
So we lived in these 4, we call them hooches, these 4-man hooches. I had my gunner and driver on one side, and then I shared it with one of my E5 team leaders. And in the middle was a little tiny hallway and a bathroom with a shower and all that good stuff. We had running water. I was like, woo, all right. So anyway, like a good leader, I let my gunner and driver go first, and then I let my E5 go. And we eat last, we sleep last, we shower last. Everything's just always, it's a leader's mentality. So I'm like, so the only thing I have on me weapon-wise that we carry in the base was a 9mm, a pistol. And I get in the shower, like this is like, we were gonna go eat right after this. I'm like, guys, shower, eat, bed. I go, that's your priorities right now. We need to sleep.
Yeah.
And as soon as I lathered up my no hair, the water turned on. I go, the fuck? So as soon as I said, what the fuck, the door gets kicked in. It's my gunner and driver. My gunner rips the shower curtain off, my driver grabs up my clothes and my towel, and they throw it on top of the hooch. Like it's like, it's like 12 feet up there, 10 feet, 12 feet up there. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Ciao. And then there's my roommate coming out. He's like, hey, don't worry, San Solari. I secured our room. I'm like, my key's in there, you idiot. He's like, well, you should have grabbed your key. So, and they pretend to go to take off to eat. And they step right back up. They're like, they did one of those. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. It just starts raining metal everywhere.
Wow.
And they go, oh shit. And they run away. I'm like, he didn't even have the courtesy to I'm like, I couldn't even kick the door open. My feet were like all soapy and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm trying to get the soap out of my eyes. I'm like, I have this like leather shoulder almost, for the 9mm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is happening. I have the radio. They didn't take the radio either. I'm like, all right, so I got a 9mm and that's it. And I got 90 Army flip-flops. So I'm like, I'm gonna die the same way I came into this world, and I really thought I was gonna die. I'm like, wow, this is happening. So I threw in the shoulder holes and grabbed the radio, and we had these areas called a duck and cover bunker. It's like these big concrete barriers, and everybody had a designated one. They also had local nationals on the base that were workers.
Yeah,
people, and they had a designated area. So I'm trying to. This thing is like an eighth of a mile away, and I'm like, oh my God. I was just ready to take the flip-flops off and just walk.
Right.
Everybody that's running by me, they see a white ass. So what are they gonna do? And then they realize, like, oh shit, I just hit a sergeant. And I'm trying to be tough. I'm like, yeah, you better run, you better run. Like, I can't do anything. I'm helpless. And everybody just kept running. They just kept running by me. I have like about 20 hand slaps on my ass. So I finally get to the duck and cover bunker. And I was smoking at the time. And I'm like, who's got a fucking cigarette? And everybody's like, they're all laughing at me. They're like, you're the last one here. You just got accountability. I'm like, yeah, dickhead, look, I can't do anything. And then like they see all the hand like slaps on my ass. Like, they're like, what happened? I got serious as a heart attack. I saw 2 local nationals at the end of our duck and cover bunker. They're not supposed to be in there. I pulled out my 9mm. You can now to put this in perspective. You can pull out a 50 cal, any machine gun, an AK, and point it at an RPG. And point it at an Iraqi, and they'll be like, it's their version of going.
Yeah.
Peace among worlds. All right, they don't care. You pull out a 9mm. That's an execution weapon.
Yeah.
It's the smallest weapon we have.
Right.
They see this naked white guy coming towards them with a 9mm. I'm like, get the fuck out of our duck and cover bunker. They're like, oh, so they run away. And I get my cigarette, and I'm like, I call on my status. I'm like, I see all my guys. I'm like, yeah, you're all here. No one's offering me any clothes, nothing. I'm like, so I was at the end of duck and cover bunker. The mortars and rockets kind of stopped, and like I was in an all male unit. 50 to 75 yards away, there's the Air Force duck and cover bunker, and they have females, and there's 2 females smoking because all the smokers went to the end of the duck and cover bunker.
Right.
And I thought they only had this look on TV. It was the double take. And they see me, and I'm like, I'm just, and they start dying laughing, and they go, what are you doing? I'm like, whatever the fuck I want right now. I go, under normal circumstances, this would be a weird day, and I couldn't explain it. Like, I have no sleep. I got soap in my eyes. I'm naked. Yeah. And I just chased out 2 local nationals with a 9mm. I'm like, you cannot make this stuff up.
Oh, God.
You can't.
Yeah. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, that happened.
That is one way to end the show.
Yes, it is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Big Box Dave, for coming on the show. Real quick before you sign off with us, and we'll catch up with you after we sign off with everything. Any more quick shout outs you want to give for your channel, for any of the other channels that you're doing some co-op stuff with, or any of the stuff coming up? I mean, obviously you're talking about some stuff earlier, but go ahead and give some shout outs where you want.
Here it is right here. Watch this channel. Don't make this weird. This is an awesome show, and I'm so happy to have you guys have me on. It was awesome. Thank you so much. And I got no more shout outs. Really don't. You guys are the ball sack, and I would love to do this again.
Right.
For real.
Well, we love repeat offenders.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you come back and join us for sure. Any kind of collaboration or whatever, we would love to help support. And
Absolutely.
I mean, you are definitely pushing the buttons up there with the subscribe and everything. So
this is all I'm doing. Blah blah blah. Open the packs. Blah blah blah. Open the packs. That's all I'm doing. So if you guys want to do, I will definitely do some collab stuff with MTGA, and if you guys want to do some pack battles.
Awesome.
that'd be fun.
Yeah,
That'd be fun. So thank you again for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. I mean, I think we kind of made it a little bit weird, but that's all right.
I love it. I thought it was great.
Well, thanks for joining us. You guys don't forget the premiere will show up. We're glad that you guys will be joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on Thursday. I don't know when this is going to drop, but
I'm going to try and get it out by tomorrow night.
I'm projecting Thursday. We'll see you Thursday. All right.
That's awesome.
We'll catch up right after the show here, Dave.
And remember,
Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. And remember,
I won't go anywhere, I promise.
Keep it weird.
Shooter.